Hello and welcome to Degen Wrestling presents Wrestling Weekly. That is the weekly segment where Ben and I talk about the weakest segments that we found throughout wrestling. And this time, shocker, I think we got two different ones.
Yeah, we do.
Uh, so I don't know. Do you want to start or do you want me to start or what?
Well, I think the only reason we have two different ones is just because to be, a little bit different. Other than that, we both agree they deserve to be here.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah. No, I
my segment is the Jericho Appreciation Society breaking up.
yeah.
It's long, drawn out. Sure, it might have two little bits that make Nathan laugh, but
Excuse me. It has one little bit that
it's
makes me laugh, and one that is the greatest relationship in AEW,
you
except for
laughed.
MJF and Adam Cole.
So yeah,
The
the Jericho
Jericho
Appreciation.
appreciation can make you laugh and cry.
Yeah, them walking out on him basically one at a time or sometimes two at a time is just really long, drawn out, boring, not really much factor in it. I think it could have been the point could have been made them all just leaving at the same time. The exact same point, less time, more entertaining, and more time for, wrestling on TV.
And we still could have gotten the pelvis dance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, so here's the thing about Ben's segment. I watched the edited version of this. The 9-minute edited version of this that's on AEW's YouTube page.
Yeah, I believe
I
it's around 20 minutes unedited, I think.
I didn't watch the Dynamite one, and even by about like 5 minutes in, I have completely lost the plot on where the hell we are.
Yeah.
And I agree that very few segments, especially ones involving Jericho, should feel like that.
Yeah.
Totally deserves its spot. What I do love is again the aforementioned the little pelvis dance and Jake Hager saying with the most intensity out of anything he said, which it should not have been, but it was, and it was hilarious, and it made me laugh, and it lent credence to Jake Hager and the Hats love affair, which I'm totally on board for. Everyone knows I loved that hat.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is about hats and wrestling, but they bring out the best in everybody. What I think could possibly beat it, and it's up to you because yeah, that's a good pick.
Yeah.
The rationale for Jimmy Uso turning on Jay Uso on
Oh, yeah.
SmackDown.
Terrible rationale.
It is terrible rationale, and thank you to my countrymen in Calgary for agreeing with me. Jay Uso goes into tribal combat where there is no disqualifications, no countouts, and no interference. It was even
Yeah.
advertised.
Yeah.
You have not one but two people interfering. One of them is Jimmy Uso, who, let's again, the logic behind this is Jimmy gets taken out by Roman and Solo.
Yeah.
Taken out, hospitalized, away. He comes back at SummerSlam, turns on Jey Uso. You somehow have an explanation that ignores all of it. It's actually kind of entertaining, but in the worst way possible, to the point where you're entertained so much that you want to talk to your cousin about canceling his Rogers subscription.
Yeah.
It's
It's
that
bad.
level of just sheer talented genius that can lead you to saying, I turned on you, Jay, because I loved you, because I did not want to see you corrupted as a tribal chief, like being a tribal chief has corrupted Roman Reigns.
I turned on you because I don't believe in you.
Yeah, but see, even if he had said that, it would have made sense.
Yeah, but that's basically what he's saying.
Yeah.
saying, "I don't trust you.
I
I
don't
don't
trust
believe
you.
in
I
you."
don't believe you.
After everything that they've been through, being Jimmy the one who was
Over
saying
years.
he would never turn on Jay.
Yeah.
He would never do anything to hurt Jay. He always believed in Jay. And then this.
Yeah. And you're trying to save it by having Jey Uso walk out of WWE.
Yeah. Well, they got to save it for
Oh
Mania.
my god. But the
They
thing
couldn't do it at an appropriately named time, like Payback.
no, no. And further to that, Payback is much, much, much too close. No, you've
Yeah.
got to let this whole thing that makes no sense, that comes out of one of your longest term storylines, ferment and bake. I mean, the Bloodline's only in its third inning. Um, but see,
Bottom of the third, barely.
bottom of the third. Okay, so really, when are we going to get to the top inning where an opponent comes to Roman Reigns and destroys him?
Right?
But seriously, Paul
Like, we
Heyman,
respect Paul Heyman, but
with all the
that
respect,
is ridiculous.
yeah. And I'm sorry, this storyline, if you heard it from the Calgary crowd, you can hear it from me too. Any little shred of optimism you could have had about the Bloodline storyline, completely gone.
Yeah.
I really didn't want to come to this with this segment. I
Yeah.
really didn't. But the problem is the rest of Raw and SmackDown and NXT and anything I could have watched was decent.
Yep.
Some parts of it were really, really good. And then you get this,
Yeah.
the thing that everybody's supposed to be tuning into, the thing that will play on Raw on replay at two different times in the night, SmackDown at least once, NXT at least once. And that's the rationale you have. Complete BS. It's a complete train wreck, just as the Bloodline went from being something that's gone on too long to being a complete train wreck.
Completely agree.
At least with yours, like we've got the pelvic thrust, we've got the hat, we've got Sammy Guevara versus Chris Jericho, possibly in the wings. Like there's stuff that you can build off of this stinker and turn it into something decent. The Bloodline, there's nothing.
No, but they probably think there is, unfortunately.
Yeah, which is a bad part. But anyway, Wrestling Weekly, my biased perspective.
Yeah.
For you, is it just that the whole segment was long, or that it was Chris Jericho who would almost never be associated with something like this?
It's just the segment being too long and not really leading anywhere that hasn't been foretold over the past couple weeks.
Okay.
Like Jake Hager already gave his hat a couple weeks ago. Why does he need to walk out again in the ring? Anna Jay and Tay Mello walked away from them last week, like the week before. Why does that need to be done again? The only two people that were left to leave were Daniel Garcia and Sammy Guevara. Like, that's the only people that needed to leave. It didn't need to be as long.
Now, how had you have cut? I'd say had you have cut between 10 and 15 minutes of it, because I'm sure Jericho would want to plead his case to Garcia and Guevara.
Yeah.
That's fine. What would you have replaced those 10 to 15 minutes with?
Wrestling.
Who would you have? Like what
I
matches
would
were
have
on
just
the card?
extended a couple matches to
Yeah.
have them go
What?
longer.
Yeah. Which matches were they though?
So I don't remember what matches they were, unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay.
They were all actually somewhat short, I think, in my memory, but yeah.
So here's the thing. For me, what I would have done is number one, you scrap the bloodline thing altogether. If you have to have the bloodline, you have the elders confronting Roman Reigns because he sullied the great tribal combat, whatever. if you had to do a bloodline thing. If you didn't, it's really easy. Give Styles and Karrion Kross a little bit more time. Give Rey Mysterio, Austin Theory a fair bit more time.
Yeah.
If you're
Okay,
going to
so
do
the
any of that.
matches that happened were the Bucks versus the Hardys, RVD versus Jack Perry.
Yeah.
There was the parking lot fight between Blackpool Combat Club and Lucha Bros. There was a match between Anna Jay and Hikaru Shida.
Okay.
I
So
think I would have given more time to the Anna Jay Hikaru Shida match and also the RVD Jack Perry match.
as for me, after seeing that card, I wouldn't care. Any of those.
That, or I would have just thrown another match in.
Yeah. Any of those could have done with more time. Or
Yeah,
possibly Hardy's Bucks. But
yeah,
all those could have been done with more time, and they were already like banger matches. You can't get too much bigger than that. Wasn't
yeah.
it Dynamite 200 or something like that?
I believe so.
On top, so it's a milestone show. Your matches are milestones, and you put that on.
The 200 could have been the week before. I'm not 100. Oh, the 200 was the week before. Never mind.
Okay,
But yeah, it was the 201st show, so they didn't
yeah,
follow it up very
yeah,
well.
but it's 201. You've
Yeah,
got great matches. Like I can honestly sit here and say I didn't watch Dynamite, but I would free willingly watch all of those because
yeah,
all of those sound at least tolerable. And you go at it with 20 minutes of the Jericho Appreciation Society standing in the ring, three-quarters of which you already know.
yeah. Actually, you know what? Just throw in another women's match to book the women's division better, AEW.
Yeah, why not? But hey, they have those?
They do?
Really? It also kind of hurts me that with one of the greatest talkers in history as the anchor of your stable, Chris Jericho, Anna Jay can outtalk 87% of you.
Anna Jay is damn good.
Oh,
She's definitely probably like
she is damn good. But
she's
if
yeah,
you
definitely
really
like my
wanted to
second favorite
sell
right
how
now.
much Chris Jericho is doing, at least have
Yeah,
these guys um be better than Anna Jay, or at least attempt to be better than Anna Jay. I looked at those promos and bar Jake Hager's everyone knows I love that hat. Everybody has done better promos.
yeah,
Every one of them. When Anna Jay is coming off not as the best promo, but as the only one who's actually trying to do something,
yeah.
you've got a problem. And that's the one thing I will say about the Bloodline storyline. At least it's consistent, consistently bad and full of plot holes, but consistent.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, those are our two picks for Wrestling Weekly. Let us know what you guys think about them or what your pick is down below.
In the meantime, we'll see you guys right here next week for more Wrestling Weekly.